Superman and the Fantastic Four do not need to be against each other, gang. Let me be the first one to say it. I am one of the opinion that both Superman and Fantastic Four can both have a successful run in the box office this summer, can both go absolutely nuts. Hell, could both maybe even make $1 billion. But let's go through a couple of reasons on why I think they can get that and how they can even get there. This is coming from all the discourse on if you should have Superman or Fantastic Four as your most anticipated movie this summer. Nah. You can have them both, bro. What J. Cole said, two legends can coexist. Damn. Let's get into it. Let's start off with the characters, because I feel like people are undermining just how big characters are from both sides of the equation, man. Superman is the first superhero ever created. He is the biggest superhero to this day, man. We have not had a good Superman movie in years, hell, a decade at this point, and people still love and are obsessed with the character of Superman. Even with the DC hate that goes on the internet, we gotta remember that the internet is a minority. It's not how everybody in the world is feeling, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't think it should be a shock or a surprise if this movie makes like 300 million the first weekend, because we're talking about fucking Superman. Like, there's people like 67 years old that have been growing up with this character ever since they were born, bro. They will go see this movie. The same thing goes for the Fantastic Four, man. This is Marvel's first family, one of their most important pillars of the Marvel universe. It's kind of hard to say that at this very moment right now because of all the stuff that happened with Fox and the MCU becoming as big as it is, but that doesn't take away from the fact that the Fantastic Four are Marvel's first team, and they're one of their coolest teams of all time. One of Marvel's important teams, bro. Not even just from a physical power standpoint, but from a mental, physical, or a family, you know what I'm saying, like personal aspect. The emotional storytelling that they're able to tell with the Fantastic Four is off the charts. And just like with Superman, bro, it's been absolutely way too long since we've seen a live action Fantastic Four in the theaters, bro. So like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if we get 150 to 200 mil for this one. The reason I'm going a little bit lower is because, well, the last Fantastic Four movie sucked, and Marvel, they've kind of lost the casual audience, which will be important for this movie doing good, is to get them back. Which leads right into my second point, which I think is superhero synergy. Just like with Barbenheimer, man, I think that if Fantastic Four and if Superman don't mind playing off each other a little bit, don't mind giving each other a little alley-oop here and there, you know, giving more screenings to each other so they can be split, you feel what I'm saying? Not trying to take more from the other for like an IMAX screens or stuff like that. We could get the Barbenheimer effect, where everybody's hype as hell to see Barbie, but they're also just as hyped to see Oppenheimer, and they both make about $1 billion. I know Barbie made a shit ton more than Oppenheimer, but Oppenheimer was rated R. We also got to remember that. So it almost making $1 billion is also insane. These are two movies that are completely different from each other. So if you want to say the synergy, the way they built off each other was a little different, I understand that. But Fantastic Four and Superman, I feel like they have like that same type of vibe, that same type of aura, that same type of hopeful energy to them. Then I think that if both movies are good, people are going to be like, you like Superman? Go see Fantastic Four, and vice versa. Now, granted, there also is the chance for the opposite for that to happen, with DC and Marvel fans starting to beef again, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the rivalry starting is a good thing, and it'll have people go see both movies in theaters, because that means that if there's a rivalry ensuing again, that means that both sides are good enough for it. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel pretty confident in thinking that Superman's going to do pretty good. It's going to start off strong. It's going to be a good movie. It's going to keep going into the Fantastic Four, and they're both going to do strong going straight into August towards the end of September. End of September. That shit, if it's still in the theater in September, that means they both went crazy. And I'm gonna be straight up, my third option is the most obvious of them all, but if these movies are good, they're gonna do good. It's that simple. I know there's gonna be people that say the Thunderbolts was a good movie, it didn't make his money back. You gotta remember, we're talking about the Thunderbolts, a team of complete nobodies, you feel what I'm saying? Complete unknowns, versus the Fantastic Four, Marvel's biggest team next to the X-Men. Come on, bro. That's a major difference. In my opinion, the same logic applies to Superman, the biggest superhero ever to be created. For me, it's simple. If Superman is like a 8, 8.5, dare I say a 9, 9.5, this movie is going to make minimum $700 million, all the way up to maybe $1.2 billion. Now, I'm not going to lie, if it's anything lower than an 8, it's going to get a little dicey. It's going to get a little hairy. You feel what I'm saying? I think we're really relying on the Superman name at that point to really get us there when it comes to the money, but we'll have to see. Fantastic Four are kind of cheesing though, because their movie comes out 2 weeks later. If Superman is bad, if it gets bad reviews, everybody's going to be like, well, we have Fantastic Four to look forward to still. So it has a chance to build off of that. And you got to remember, this is a Fantastic Four. If this movie is an 8 out of 10, they making a whole lot of money with this one. Not to mention you throw in the fact that Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn is in this movie. You feel what I'm saying? This just has bigger actors in general as well. So that might give them a few like 50 to 100 million too. But yeah, all in all, man, my main point of this video is to let y'all know that I think that Superman and Fantastic Four can both succeed in the box office this summer, man. They both can make close to $1 billion. Hell, maybe they'll both make $1 billion. That'd be fucking insane. But I'm trying to talk about this in the comments down below, man. How do y'all feel about this? Do you think Superman and Fantastic Four can succeed? Or do you think it's inevitable that one of them flops? Let's talk about this in the comments down below, man. Because you know we got to talk about it. Simple.